Welcome everyone to another video, and today we're going to take a look at Oranguru in the Great League. Of course, for this week all three of the open leagues are available for you to play in, and we're going to take a look at Oranguru because I feel like Oranguru with the buff to Confusion is one of the Pokemons which I think will benefit it a lot, because now it will be able to reach the Trailblaze boost to ramp up its attack quite fast, and with Brutal Swing as its coverage move, I think it is going to be massive, right? Especially with the current meta revolving around things such as Dusclops and Gastrodon. I think with Oranguru it does have quite good coverage for that, and we will have Charjabug as our safe swap with Volt Switch, Discharge, and Scizor. At least we have Scizor to go against those ground types that would otherwise wall Charjabug. And of course we have Bastiodon as our closer with Smackdown, Stone Edge, and Flamethrower. So this is a fairly bulky team, and with Trailblaze I think it will be able to ramp up the attack of this team very well and dish out the damage that is required to take out the opponents. So with that, let us get into the video, and we are going to take a look at the first battle. We will be met with a Diggersby, a very good matchup. This is exactly where we want to meet a Diggersby because our backline does fairly badly versus this Pokemon. So with Scorching Sands now only having a 10% chance of activating the defense drop, it does make it a lot harder for them right now to use Diggersby, but because of its solid typing and extremely good bulk, it does have quite a good set of circumstances for it to thrive still in the Great League. So they had Pharaoh as their safe swap, so in this instance most probably they will have another flyer, something a little bit better in walling fighting types. So I'm guessing they will have something like a Altaria or Togekiss in the back, which I think Charjabug will be able to do fairly well. So as you can see here, they're still trying to bait us a bit of Bastiodon, but we don't care about that because we are going to save both shields for our Charjabug if possible, but we will but because they threw one more charge move, we are going to shield it and hopefully try to farm them all the way down. Unfortunately they do swap into their Golisopod, and here is where it gets very tricky because they do have access to Fury Cutter, which charges out quite fast, and our Charjabug, even though we will be able to outpace them here, I don't know whether it was a misplay on my part, but I tried to farm them all the way down, but unfortunately they will be able to get out from this matchup with 1 HP and the win against us. So as you can see the lack of attack stats from the Oranguru, I think, and the catch did punish us quite badly, but it is okay because we know that this team has potential, and especially because that was one of the first few battles that I had with this team. And here in the second battle we are going to be met with Dragonite as a safe swap, and we are going to stay in because their lead of Gastrodon will be fairly bad for our Bastiodon, and here they will be coming back in with the Gastrodon, and we're going to throw a Stone Edge. At least it will be a stab, so it will do a little bit more damage compared to Flamethrower, and we immediately going to swap back into the Gastrodon to throw a Trailblaze. So as you can see here, Gastrodon with this normal and psychic type, it is very advantageous, especially if you're met with a ghost type Pokemon, because if you meet a ghost type Pokemon, generally psychic types do fairly bad against it, but because of the normal sub typing, it does give it a little bit more time on the field to take it out, which is very massive because with the Trailblaze boost, Brutal Swings will do tons of damage against ghost type Pokemon. So as you can see here, they are going to come back in with the Dragonite, and we're going to swap into our Bastiodon to tank this move and hopefully take him out. And now let's see what's their last Pokemon, and they do have a Togekiss in the back, which means that Charjabug will be able to seal the deal for our team. and with one shield still left, they will not be able to do that much, and we're just going to throw a Scizor just to flex that win against our opponent. And in the third game, we are going to be met with a Spiritomb. So this is one of the ghost types that we do not want to meet in the lead because of its dark typing. So we are going to swap into a Charjabug, and they are going to come in with an Acid Cradily, which is a little bit more, which is still okay, but it's because they shielded the first charge move for once, it does become a little bit more problematic because the first Scizor would be crucial, as you can see here, because 2 Scizors will not be enough to take them out. So we are going to, as you can see here, if we had gotten the first Scizor through, we would have been able to take them out with energy to spare. Unfortunately, they just have too much energy to burn in the end game. As you can see here, they just barely managed to come out of this matchup with 3 Pokemons, and unfortunately they do. And here they are going to come back in with the Spiritomb and they swap out into the Wigglytuff. And at this point, because they do have the energy lead on the Spiritomb, they will have a Shadow Ball banked most probably. So in this instance, we hope that we don't get too much debuffed by this Wigglytuff. And as you can see here, they will let this one go, but we will come back in with our Oranguru, hopefully to take them quite low. And I think this is one of the misplays that I did. I think it would have been better to do 2 Brutal Swings instead, because 2 Brutal Swings would have made we would have been able to get to 2 Brutal Swings, but we would not have been able to get to 1 Trailblaze and 1 Brutal Swing, unfortunately. And as you can see here, that would have been enough to take the opponent out. So yeah, note to self, Oranguru versus Spiritomb, just throw Brutal Swings, especially if you don't have shields left. So in this instance, they will be met with a Shadow Pidgeot and they will swap into a Hypno, and in this instance, this is massive for us because this is exactly what we want to see in the safe swap, because Charjabug does have a lot of coverage versus this Hypno, and he will throw the Scizor. We will be able to, I think, outpace them if we go to the 2 shields, which we will be able to do in this instance, because as you can see here, they will be able to get to the second Fire Punch, but we will not be able to get to a third one before that. And because of that, we are going to come in with, because they swap into the Cloud side, we will come in with the Oranguru to tank all this move, and we are going to ramp up our attack with the Trailblaze. Unfortunately, it will not be enough to take it out, but we will put it in a range where 2 Scizors would be able to win us this matchup. And even if we are not able to, we still have Bastiodon in the back, which is quite tanky to take out the Pidgeot as well as Hypno. Both of those Pokemons only able to do resisted moves in general. And here we are going to come in with the Bastiodon, farm them all the way down, come in with almost 1 charge move available, and here we are going to take them out. But not before we tank the Earthquake. Let's see how we do catch the Earthquake, and we do catch it quite well. And we are going to throw a Stone Edge just in case if they swap out, but we don't care as much because now we are able to come in with the Hypno and yeah, take out their last opponent. So the first set, I think we ended at 3-2, which is very promising. But now with the second set, I think with a Pharaoh safe swap, I think we know better to swap in our Charjabug instead, because at this point in time, if they come in with a Pharaoh, they will have something that is far worse in the back for fighting types and for bug types, which Bastiodon will be able to handle fairly well. And here they will come in with their Marowak again, and we will let this one go. We do not want to be 2 shields down, and they will have a Togekiss in the back once again. And I think Togekiss is the only Pokemon that we do not want to see in the back with Bastiodon, just because it has access to Aura Sphere from this season. and here we are going to let it go because we know that our Oranguru will be able to ramp up our attack and hopefully take out both of these Pokemon in the end game. We are going to farm them all the way down, and we are going to shield this Aura Sphere because Aura Sphere is going to be the one to do the most damage, and because of the timing of the fast move, we will be throwing the Trailblaze immediately, and we will come out of this battle with 1 HP and a Brutal Swing ready for the Togekiss to win this game. So as you can see here, the second set has gone on a very good start, and we are going to be met with another good start here in the second battle, and we are going to be met with a Galarian Moltres. So Galarian Moltres ideally is going to be a fairly easy matchup for us, but because they do have payback, it will be a little bit of an iffy matchup for us, which means that we have to throw a charge move to take them out. I was hoping for a little bit of an undercharge so that we are able to get one more smackdown. Unfortunately, we are not able to, and they will be able to farm us all the way down. And here we are going to swap. We are going to shield. Save again because Water Pulse or even Earth Power does do quite a lot of damage. And here we will be met with Talon Flame, and we are going to let our Charjabug go down, and we are going to come back in and hopefully farm them all the way down, get massive amount of damage if possible. And here we do get them out of the way before we do get that boosted Incinerate damage, and which is massive because now we are going to try to take them out before they get to another charge move. So hopefully we are able to survive one more Mud Slap. Unfortunately, we are not able to, in which case, yeah, they do win the game. And here we are going to be met with a Dedenne, another Pokemon which is fairly interesting because it can boost their defense stat, which nullifies the Trailblaze attack boost. But in this instance, yeah, we're just going to stay in just for a while just to do a little bit of chip damage before switching into our Charjabug, because Charjabug will still have a decent matchup even though Play Rough will still hit like a truck. But because they swap into a Scizor immediately, we are going to throw the boosted Brutal Swing into the Scizor before swapping into the Bastiodon, hopefully getting tons of energy out. And yeah, the energy will be massive, especially to take that last shield from the Dedenne before we come in with the Charjabug to take them out. So as you can see here, a lot of energy banked for the Dedenne or whatever comes in, and they will come in with the Dedenne, and they try to, and we don't want to try to do anything fancy, and we're just going to take it out before we are met with a Torterra, which means that Charjabug will be here to take the win. One Scizor will not be enough, but I think with Oranguru's remaining health, I think one Confusion would satisfy the win condition for us. So as you can see here, they threw only a frenzy plant, which means that we are going to be resisting it. But because of the damage that Scizor does in this instance, because of the Mud Slap, Frenzy Plant will be enough to take out the Charjabug, and one Confusion will be able to take out the Shadow Torterra. So yeah, in this instance against the Shadow Scizor, we want to immediately swap into the Charjabug because Confusion will not do that much damage versus the Scizor, and Night Slash does do quite a bit of damage versus our Oranguru, and we are going to throw I wanted to go throw immediately the back-to-back Scissors to take out their charge move. I mean, to take out their Scizor. Unfortunately, they do not let us, or at least it was a misplay I think on my part, but it's okay. I mean, we come in against the Azumarill with Discharge. Hopefully we do get both Discharge in, and we do. So Azumarill is just very tanky, so that one bubble would not have been enough. If it was any other Pokemon, it would have been enough, but I think in this instance they will not be enough to take out the Charjabug, and their last Pokemon is a Bullet Seed Credilli. And yeah, with with that boost and with our Bastiodon in the back, they won't be able to do that much. They know that Oranguru will be able to finish up the battle, especially if it was how do you say it? Especially if they decided to throw rock tombs. But yeah, in this instance, we do take out their Cardili, and here we are going to be met with another Torterra, and we are going to try to take them out with some energy loaded. Unfortunately, they won't let us come in with energy, and they will let us get to a third Scizor, which means that they have to use both shields to in order to save their Torterra. But it's okay for us because we are going to come out with both our shields and some energy for Oranguru, and here they will come in with a Furret. If the Furret has Brick Break, then it would be a problem for us, but as you can see here, they will throw a Trailblaze, which means that it will be game over for them, because anything in the back which is anti-fighting will have to be dealing with Bastiodon. In this case, we will not be letting them farm our health down that much anymore, and we are going to take them out. And here we are going to be met with Wigglytuff, in which case they will be conceding the match. So as you can see that Oranguru taking names and kicking some Pokemon behinds. A very well-rounded Pokemon with Confusion and that Trailblaze boost. Of course, Charjabug, being Charjabug, has understated, I would say, is an understated Pokemon. It has very good coverage, and with Bastiodon, as always, Bastiodon, Kilipang's favorite Pokemon, and just does massive more damage if it is not a ground type or a fighting type. So yeah, what do you think about Oranguru? Is it something that you will want to use? I mean, its rankings are quite good on PvPoke, but yeah, let me know what you think about Oranguru. Is it something that you want to use, or is it just too clunky for you? Because Confusion, a 4-turn fast move, is always clunky, but it is for you to decide. So as always, thank you everyone for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.